Ivan, start with you in terms of the numbers itself. What do you make of them, and justifiable move in the stock price?
Oh yeah, Disney is turning a corner, and this is going to be Disney's year.
What in the numbers in particular makes you confident of that?
ESPN is picking up, their cable business is picking up, but the studio had a blockbuster year, and they have 10 blockbuster movies in the pipeline for this year. 3 of them, Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame, and Star Wars 9 are probably going to be $2 billion movies.
But I guess if someone was looking for criticism, a decent part of the revenue beat did come on the parks line. Is that something that worries you at all relative to the rest of the business?
No, the parks are doing well because of the halo effect, because Disney dominates the action-adventure movie genre, which has the halo effect of merchandise and the parks.
So Jim, I mean, you know the history of Disney better than everyone. Wrote the book on it. Is this going to be Disney's year?
I don't know that I'd go quite that far. I think it's going to take more than 1 year to know if they really make this historic transformation from the old cable model to the direct-to-consumer, which is a huge story. But I mean, these earnings are very impressive, and it's an impressive company. You know, just to look at the theme parks for a moment, when I was working on my book, I portrayed one of the characters, Goofy, at the theme park, and it was a great experience. What it reminded me is you see a cross-section of America at those theme parks, and when consumer confidence is high, when employment is high, when earnings are finally showing a gain, what do families want to do? Even not very affluent ones, they want to take their kids to Disney.
Or if you win a Super Bowl, you want to go there, Tom Brady.
It's more about Captain Marvel these days, though, than Goofy, is it not?
I don't think Goofy. I don't think I or Goofy were luring many people to Disney, but it's really, I think it is impressive. And, you know, they had kind of weak results in Asia and Europe. This is like U.S. driven. They could, you know, the rest of the world starts doing better. That's going to kick in as well. And they had a kind of momentarily weak quarter in the movie business, but as you pointed out, they've got an amazing lineup, and these franchises of theirs showed no sign of losing any steam. So I mean, I do think the outlook is bright. Another thing that's impressive is the cable model is not falling apart. ESPN, there's a little decline in subscribers. They didn't say exactly how much, but revenues are up, they're getting higher fees, and the advertising market is very strong. I will say there's one other aberration in there. That was the high political advertising for the midterm elections. That's going to be around next year, but that'll, you know, 2020 is going to be another big election.
Yeah, I mean, the market isn't exactly paying for ABC when they buy Disney right now, so that's not necessarily the big issue. But it is a good test, though, Ivan. I mean, when Netflix came along, the popular way to set it up was to say it's Netflix against cable, and it always seemed a bit false, right? I mean, Netflix can coexist. Disney, within the same company, is trying to prove that these models can coexist.
Well, I believe they can coexist. It is changing, and I think Disney will out Netflix in a direct-to-consumer streaming model.
Why?
Because of their content, because that Netflix has to invest in original content just to keep up. It's Disney's business of creating original content for both movies, cable, and their direct-to-consumer model.
Do you fear, Ivan, that there'll be a hit to profitability whilst Disney Plus launches if they're trying to outprice Netflix, out-Netflix, as you put it?
There may be a marketing chart, and I think Disney, nobody could market better than Disney. Just imagine giving coupons to everybody attending the park, giving coupons to people buying Disney merchandise for free trials or discounts on Disney Plus. I mean, they are a powerful marketing company, and they have, you know, content is king, and they are the king of content.
But Netflix is also doing really well on content, Jim. I mean, is there room for both? And if so, how much room is there? Who else is going to be at the top in terms of the streamers?
I think absolutely there's room for both. There's room for a few more. I mean, I don't think anybody knows the answer, exactly how many of these sort of separate, over-the-top networks people are going to want on their TV sets in their living rooms. But certainly 2, 3, 4, I don't think there's any question about that. And I'd be very surprised if Disney isn't one of those. I think it's everybody else that's going to have trouble getting over that moat.
Do you think that's also Bob Iger's tactic with Disney Plus? Is he happy to coexist, or is he going to try and blow Netflix out of the water?
I don't know why he wouldn't be happy to coexist. I mean, given if he can get good margins, good earnings, good profitability on that, he doesn't need to blow them out of the water. I mean, it's not like we've had one TV network all of these years. People want a choice. They have a choice. They ought to be able to have a choice. They don't need to blow them out of the water. I think they can coexist very nicely. I think the question more would be, is Netflix going to try to take them on in, say, the sports arena, which would be very, very expensive.
Or even in kids. I mean,
and kids,
I do think that the way it is a little bit continuous with Disney's existing strategy, and maybe an advantage, is that you know what a Disney film is. You know what the character sets are. You know what Marvel is. So there's this kind of built-in understanding of the franchise. What is a Netflix original? I mean, does it kind of have a brand attached to it? No, you don't really know. It was kind of dumped into Netflix, and it kind of blends in with everything else.
They've got that new
promo.
Well, it costs a lot of money on the back end, but as a consumer, you don't necessarily pick it out as saying, this is quintessentially a Netflix production.